Hello, I'm Catherine Maguire. Welcome to the Soul Alchemist Podcast. If you are on a journey of personal or spiritual growth, you are in the right place. It's my desire each week to offer you wisdom, inspiration, and practical tools to help you remember the very essence of who you are and to be that fully, joyfully, and authentically in the world. So, thanks for choosing to hang out with me today. It is so lovely to have you here. I have a gorgeous podcast for you today. Oh, this is lovely. We are going to look at the 5 love languages, and these will transform how your relationship with yourself, your blah, 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 blah. Take 2. Hello, I'm Catherine Maguire. Welcome to the Soul Alchemist Podcast. If you're on a journey of personal or spiritual growth, you are in the right place. It's my desire each week to offer you wisdom, inspiration, and practical tools to help you remember the very essence of who you are and to be that fully, joyfully, authentically in the world. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It is so lovely to have you here. We have a gorgeous podcast today. We are going to look at the 5 love languages. Understanding your love language will transform your relationships with yourself, with your intimate partner, if you have one, with your friends, with your family, with your work colleagues. So we're in for a lovely treat today. And I think it's especially lovely as we're heading into the holiday period, into Christmas, because there's nothing as triggering as for relationships as Christmas and the holidays and spending time with your family. So hopefully today will help you navigate all of that as well. All right, before we get into it, I have 2 announcements. The first announcement is today is December 17th. I'm finishing up on December 23rd, so another week. If this time of the year is really challenging for you and you're like, I'm tired of the same old patterns, I'm tired of doing the same old things, I'm tired of feeling the same old feelings this time of year, and I would really like to flip the energy and find new joy, new magic, new possibility in this time of year, please get in touch with me about a soul alchemy session, and let's step into the soul alchemy container and really transform that inner energy that you have so you can really have a fabulous Christmas, holiday season, new Yule, midwinter, whatever it is to you, or midsummer if you're in Australia. But let's transform the energy. Don't let it be the same old pattern over and over again. This is the time to do something about it. So get in touch, Catherine at catherinemaguire.com, or message me, DM me on Instagram. And let's get you a session before December 23rd and create something new, gorgeous gift to yourself. And my second announcement is this. This is the last podcast of 2025. I will be back on January 14th. So I'm taking a wee break. I love this time of year. I love going into that liminal space where you don't know what day of the week it is and curled up with books and the stove and all that sort of good stuff. So I'm taking a little hibernation holiday for the next few weeks. And then we'll be back on January 14th. So I know some people are playing catch up with the podcast. I know some people want to go back and listen to their favorite episodes. So that gives you some time to do that. And you can also use it. As of today, we've 25 episodes, which is quite amazing. So you can use the podcast a bit like an oracle deck. Just ask your higher self, your intuition, what episode do I need to listen to between 1 and 25? And whatever number pops up, go listen to that. And you've got something to give you some inspiration and juice as you go through this holiday season. All right, let's get into it. So the 5 love languages are a concept from a man called Gary Chapman. And Gary Chapman was a pastor. And in the course of his work, he used to counsel couples. And through that, he noticed some patterns. And one of the patterns was that everybody has a love language. And a lot of the conflict in a couple came from when the 2 people in the couple had a different love language. It caused people not to feel loved, not to feel heard, not to feel appreciated. And when you understand your own love language, and that of your partner or your friend or your family member or your colleague, it actually helps to dissolve and remove a lot of the tension that comes up in couples, because we're taking away, it's like a miscommunication, two people speaking a different language and not getting heard, and then the frustration from not being heard, okay, or appreciated. So I'm going to go through them, just list them out, and then we're going to go back and go through them in a bit more detail. So number 1, words of affirmation. Number 2, quality time. Number 3, receiving gifts. Number 4, acts of service. And number 5, physical touch. So some of those are probably a bit more self-explanatory than others. So let's go through them. So the first one is words of affirmation, which is a compliment, a praise, kind words, a kindness. So in an intimate relationship, that can be telling your partner, I love you. All right. In a friendship, it's that I really appreciate your friendship, or a family member, it's I really appreciate you for whatever it is, but kind words. In a work situation, that's, if somebody's done a good job, to really tell them that they have done a good job. And often in a work situation, that can be tell them they've done a good job in front of their peers or among their team. So they really feel appreciated. All right. So that's words of affirmation. The second one is quality time. So quality time is you give someone your undivided attention, whether that's for 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, or a day. So if that's, you're on a date or you're with your partner, you're not on the phone, you're not texting, you're not doing multiple things, you're there present. So better to be present for a small amount of time completely, rather than a long amount of time distracted. It means if you go for a coffee with your friend, that, both of you are there. You're not eavesdropping on someone else's conversation. You're not texting on your phone. You're not doing other things. All right. You're there. In a work situation, it means that if you're at a meeting, you're at the meeting. You're not on another phone call. You're not on another device. You're not kind of shouting out the door of the meeting room to someone else and having another conversation at the same time, that you're actually there. Okay. So the third one is receiving gifts. So that is what it is. It's a thoughtful gesture, a thoughtful token, and that can be something small, a flower you pick on your way to work or on your way to your friend and offer it as a kindness. Or it can be something big, something you've bought, but it's receiving gifts. And this time of the year, this is really important, because kind of the marketing machine of Christmas would have us believe that everyone needs gifts. Like that's what we're to be doing, out buying gifts. But for lots of people, that's not their love language, and it can cause a huge amount of stress. So if receiving gifts is not your love language, buying gifts is really difficult and stressful. And also, maybe your love language is quality time, but instead you have a gift. So like gifts, while it's a lovely idea, is not everyone's love language. So that's why it's important we know our love language and know those of our friends and our family, because we can give them what they need to really feel loved and appreciated. All right. But if receiving gifts is your thing, they're thoughtful tokens, be they small or be they large. And number 4 is acts of service. So acts of service is doing physical things, physically doing something for someone. All right. So whether that is washing the dishes, changing tire in a car, hanging out the laundry, in work, maybe, somebody's overloaded and you do one of their tasks, or someone takes some of their tasks off their desk so they have a bit more space. So an act of service, you're doing something for someone. And the last one is physical touch, which is hugs, holding hands, physical sexual intimacy in an intimate relationship. This one can be a little bit more difficult in a work situation because, there's boundaries and things about physical touch in work. So, but what it can look like, so say someone's done a really good job. It may mean that you shake their hand, really sincerely shake their hand, while telling them, thank you for doing such a good job. So in that way, you're giving physical touch. Okay. So that's the one that in a work situation can be a little bit more tricky, but think, how can I, in a way that is not, impinging on someone's boundary or inappropriate, can I actually make a physical connection with them? All right. And it's really important because we lead from our love language. So I will offer my love language to someone else. Okay. So my primary love language is an act of service. So for my husband, I might make him a cup of coffee. I might make his breakfast. I might make him his lunch. I will do something for him. It is an act of service. All right. That's how I show my love. That's how I show my appreciation. And that's how I receive love, because it's my primary love language. The problem is that is not my husband's love language. My husband's primary love language is words of affirmation. So he tells me he loves me. And he loves to be told that he is loved. But that's not my love language. Okay. So can you see where we have, crossed wires? So I have learned that Vince loves words of affirmation. So I still do my love language, which is acts of service. But if I make him something, I might say I make him his breakfast. I said, I've made you your breakfast. And as we sit down to have it, I go, and I love you. So he can hear the words of affirmation. All right. So the same in a work situation. So say I've done a really good job for someone and I'm called into the meeting room and my whole team are there. And my line manager, my manager goes, Catherine, I just have you here today because I want to, offer you some words of appreciation for what you've done. I'm really proud of you and really happy. And you've made such an impact on the team. If that is not my love language, that really means nothing to me. As someone who's in active service is their love language, I don't need that. But if my boss came to me and said, Catherine, thanks for the amazing job you've done. I'm giving you an extra day's paid leave. Woo! I'm happy out. Okay. Or maybe it's receiving gifts. So maybe they buy you a beautiful bottle of wine or they buy you a voucher for a meal out or something, or if your love language is quality time in a work situation, that may be your manager, your line manager, whatever, bringing you in and sitting down and talking to you and say, thank you for what you did. How did you find the project? What were your challenges? What did you learn from it? What do you see, as, your role in the organization going forward? Like give them 15, 20 minutes of your actual time and be present with them, connecting with this person. And again, if it's someone's is a physical touch, it might be shaking their hand and say, thank you for your job. Really well done. All right. So these are the different love languages. So I'm going to go through them again. Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. And if you can understand what they are for yourself, first and foremost, you can give them to yourself. All right. So if your love language is of words of affirmation, it's to tell yourself mantras. I love you. I appreciate you, as in I appreciate myself. I am kind. I am loving. Give yourself the kind words. If your love language is quality time, give yourself quality time with yourself. Okay. That's how you create a loving relationship with yourself. If your love language is receiving gifts, what can you give yourself? What can you gift yourself? If it's acts of service, what kind thing can you do for yourself? All right. On a Sunday morning, I make myself a cup of a ceremonial cacao. I get back into bed, snuggle in, I do a meditation, and that's my act of service to myself. All right. I take some time to do something lovely for myself. All right. And if it's physical touch, maybe that's you do self-massage. Maybe that's you do a nice scrub in the shower. All right. So what can you do for yourself? Maybe you hug yourself, put your arms. It's a lovely thing to put your arms around yourself and hug yourself. All right. Because a lot of the conflict in a relationship rises when we don't know our love language and when the person doesn't offer our love language to us, because invariably what a person will do is offer us their love language, which is fine if you've the same love language. But if you have different love languages, it causes conflict. And it means you don't feel appreciated. You don't feel loved. Now, that said, we usually have a secondary love language. So my secondary love language is actually quality time. All right. I hate someone on the phone. If you come out with me for a cup of coffee and you're texting, God love you. Right? That's my secondary love language. So we usually have one main one and then a secondary. Okay. And then we can be wounded in our love language. And this is really important. Okay. Because if we're wounded in our primary love language, it means it's really difficult for us to receive love and appreciation. Okay. So, what that might look like is this. If words of affirmation are your primary love language, and in your house growing up, there was a lot of cruel words, or as an adult, maybe, your partner or romantic partner or somebody said a lot of cruel things to you or hurtful things to you, or maybe even there was a lot of shouting in your environment, you might be damaged in your primary love language, and you're not actually able to allow words in because so many words that came at you were hurtful. All right. So then you've got to do some healing work around that so that you can receive love through that love language. If quality time is your love language, but maybe abandonment was an issue for you, or somebody being there, but not being like physically present, but not emotionally present, you may have an issue around quality time. And that's where you need to do your healing work. If receiving gifts is your love language, but what you were gifted growing up was hurt, or there was always like a demand, I'm giving you this, but I expect that. All right. You might have an issue about receiving gifts unconditionally. There's no condition attached. So that might be your issue. Acts of service. So if what you experienced was what somebody gave you was cruel, it was abuse, it was physical abuse, sexual abuse, something like that, that can damage you in your acts of service. And even though that's your primary love language, you can't receive from there. All right. And obviously, physical touch. If you're physically abused anywhere, there was physical violence as you were growing up, that'll make it really hard to feel safe around physical touch. All right. And that's where your healing work is. So it's really important to know what your love language is. Know if you're in an intimate relationship, find out what your partner's love language is so that you can offer that love language to each other. And then the significant people in your life, and obviously in a professional setting, it's good to know what your colleagues' love languages are as well, but start close in. So what is it for you? What's your primary love language? And then over time, what's your secondary love language? And how can you gift that to yourself? How can you gift that to yourself instead of putting an expectation on others that they have to give it to you? And can you receive? If you're not good at receiving and have an issue around receiving, it's going to be very hard to receive love and receive appreciation. So how are you on receiving? Okay. And that's why I start with yourself. How can I gift myself, whatever it is, quality time, words of appreciation, and active service? Can I actually receive from myself? Start close in. And then extend that out into your circle, your intimate partner, your friends, your family, your colleagues. All right. So I'm going to go back through them one more time. And if you have any questions on this, please get in touch, or if it's brought up some stuff, you get in touch and we can do a session on it. That's no problem at all. So let's go back through the five love languages. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Number 1, words of affirmation, compliments, praise, kindness. I love you. Number 2, quality time, undivided attention, fully present with yourself and fully present with whoever you're with. Number 3, receiving gifts, a thoughtful token to yourself or to someone else. Number 4, acts of service, doing physical things to, help yourself, make you feel good and help those other people in your life. All right. And number 5, physical touch, whether that's hugs, holding hands, dancing, intimate touch, whatever that is. All right. So take a little time to explore, what is your love language? And also to know that love language, we can be out of balance in it. We can do too much. So like you can give too much. You can, if giving gifts and receiving gifts is your love language, you can do too much because you're not in balance. You feel like I have to do all this to get love. So are you in balance with your love language? Or do you have a wounding in it and you can't receive appreciation or love? So they give us a huge clue. The love languages give us a huge clue to ourselves and to any inner work that needs to be done. All right. So once more with feeling, as they say, I'm going to go through them again. Love language number 1, words of affirmation. Love language number 2, quality time. Love language number 3, receiving gifts. Love language number 4, acts of service. And love language number 5, physical touch. So as we head into Christmas and the holiday season, I wish you love. I wish you love, and I wish you a beautiful holiday time. And I wish you that you can know and receive your kind of love through your love language, primarily from yourself, and then from those around you. Because when we know what our love language is, we can share that with others, and that's how they can engage with us. And similarly, that helps us engage with the people we love in a way where they can feel loved and appreciated. So have an absolutely gorgeous Christmas. Have an absolutely gorgeous New Year. And I will see you back here on January 14th for some more Soul Alchemy. All my love. Mwah.